So after Zidane has been mulling over the fact that the sanctuary is not able to be summoned in this place for a second time in a place like this, he's up here in the stairs looking over the ruins, writes a couple things in his journal, and then decides with a sigh he's gonna look around, sees Thamor, and the idea comes up. He approaches. Thamor, I heard someone shouting about fish in the river. Do you still, uh, fish with that halberd of yours?
I do. It's an enjoyable pastime.
Didn't you also have that little tackle box that we got all back in Galaran? I think you said you'd got it before we left on the Widow's Kiss.
Fuck, I was muted. It may still be my pack. Say what mine.
Well,
It's the backpack that just appears whenever he needs it on his backpack, because you know.
well, do you mind trying to teach me how to fish? I got some free time, and it'd be nice to pass the time as well, catch up a little bit.
Suppose I can teach you how to fish. Oh, keep your eyes out. The feline one likes to steal them all.
Oh, the flying one?
No, the walking one.
Ah,
I'm guessing I spot the walking one just up ahead eating fish.
I'm talking with my brother. Fairtail.
But yeah, I suppose we'll take a presence to the other side of Seabreeze. And how are the waters today? Lots of fish?
Yes.
well, you do have that little friend of yours over there. That's I don't remember the winged cat. The last time we had been traveling together.
Yes, I have. Well, that was quite a time when we got stuck on Dead Man's Isle. I don't think you were with us, but um, I had decided to read into the arcane arts, and I had always had some talent, but learned a bit more, and that is the golden bean, my familiar.
Refer to me by
Yes.
my full title.
The golden bean. Blah, blah, blah. Lots of words.
How dare you?
That's right. Very.
The golden bean.
Okay, okay.
It's a curious name.
I didn't pick it. I don't know. He manifested. He seems to be related to the Church of Lythander and has a very, 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 very long name.
The Church of that was the statue that back then I put the dagger of yours to contact you, wasn't it?
Yes, I believe he had something to do with my transformation.
Well, you could say
Also,
it's
you are not green anymore. I'm curious.
Yes, and it seems like I'm not able to use my magic the same way as before. And,
Do you think it would help if I stabbed you?
well, you consider
I'm just
it.
joking. I don't know why you're considering this. This was a joke.
I haven't tried anything else drastic. Oh,
Well, if you're done talking, and I hope you are. Claymore takes the quiver from his back and pulls out a fishing pole, just much larger than the quiver, but he hands it to Zidane.
oh, right. Not the halberd.
No, you don't get to use the halberd. Not unless you want to go swimming.
Don't think we ever got a speed on what the river was, but yeah, considering there are things in the trees. Yeah, Zidane nods. Okay, Zidane does his first cast. Oh no!
You definitely hook Thamor.
Well, draw it back too far. Hook something I probably shouldn't.
You can Thamor behind his shoulder.
I try to cast a line and there's lots of resistance. Huh.
A bit ambitious for your first catch.
Look over my shoulder at the line and what is it? Oh. This requires a little bit more finesse.
Thamor will pull the hook out. He's strong enough. It probably doesn't hurt too bad, hopefully. Or unless he's an absolute wimp. And let go of it so it swings back down towards you. I am going to move over here. If you wish to try that again, try to hook the sea breeze instead.
Hey,
Well, if I do that, I might accidentally catch the flying cat. I don't think that would be in my best interest either.
Good riddance.
What, do you two not get along?
That cat has shit in my bedroll a few times now.
And I would do it again. Familiar, I'm going to fly up here where it's less of a danger.
I was
aim for
actually
the
going
cat.
to suggest that.
The sun is nice up here. I think I may take a nap.
I would say that Freya kind of starts walking around, taking note of all the people around camp, still eyeing the weird Yonti she spoke to earlier before she catches one of the members she barely talks to and gives it a go by just approaching Apsinthos and says, "What do you think of this place?"
Strong.
Wrong?
I mean,
Yes.
obviously something's up.
Yeah, that definitely is something's up. Especially with those red things in the trees and gathering everywhere and this so-called madness or whatever that lingers that they spoke about a couple times.
I think it's affecting us too. I mean,
Why
at
do you
them.
say that? Do you feel mad?
No, just looks up to the sky, sees the blood red moon. Yeah, all this to worry about, and they're fishing.
I mean, I guess it's one way to pass the time, I suppose. I mean, you're not going to get much conversation from the other folks here. They tend to repeat themselves.
Hey, Liam, hit him. Check if he's real.
Point taken. She kind of gestures over to the three gentlemen by the campfire. At least you didn't talk to the one that thinks you're a thief.
Thinks you're a thief?
Yeah, there was an elven male over by the temple ruin. I tried to introduce myself, but he thought I wasn't real, and then I was real, then I was a thief, thinking I was stealing his research. And then he didn't want to give indicators of what he's trying to research. But the only one that seemed cognate enough was the old cyborg thing man. And she kind of points up towards the stairwell. But
I think we should think less about where we're at and more about where we're going.
yeah, that is something to think about. She's kind of like holds her arms a little bit. You see her like her fingers tapping against her elbow. So we're supposed to find. I'm still lost on what we're doing here. To be honest, I was kind of upset when I was in the hut. Oh. Most of the.
Well, I mean, you remember before, right?
You mean the two universes?
Yeah, we're just back in Universe A or whatever it is.
Well, okay. How do you know that?
I mean, how do you know we're in Universe B?
Besides what Malaeus has told us?
Yeah?
The only way I can know is if I can talk with Eldith, my goddess. But it might be a long shot because with how the current situation is, and she looks up towards the sky and whatever is lurking around here, I don't know if I can summon her. I haven't been able to for feels like months.
Probably because she is
That's
real.
not good, and it may be difficult given that we're in a cross-planar situation.
Well, if you don't mind me asking, I know that you cast spells, but do you have a goddess or a god that you follow?
He's gonna pull out a bag and he's gonna cast Create Food and Water. That has sushi and other seafood in it. Just gonna be eating sushi during the conversation.
She just
Not really big into coal.
she just stares like yeah, Freya just stares at you as you have this giant pile of sushi that in your hands. I assume it's on a plate, but
45 pounds of it.
It's
They're
on the
pots.
ground. She just looks at everything and she's like, you could have saved your magic. We had fish. And she points towards the river.
Hi. The way my power is gleaned, just take a 10-minute nap and call it good.
10 minutes.
Anyways, to answer your other... Yeah, just a quick nap. I mean, I can't do it often. But, I could do it quickly.
She just looks at you very confusingly because she has never met a warlock before, so...
Anyways, this whole god thing, I don't know. I'm now a bit more conflicted at that whole phrase. Like, yeah, I guess a god may exist in some sense. They're still pretty darn... Sorry to be human might be the best word I can use to describe it, although I know that maybe it's elvish, maybe it's dwarven. They display a lot of mortal properties for being gods.
I asked you if you had a god, not explain the gods.
Oh, yeah, that's points towards his pendant. That's another complicated scenario. It's like a yes?
Raises a brow. Yes, you were able to put us in that pendant when we were traveling on Anderos when he was an eagle.
Yes.
Or
And so,
Anderos or Barnacle? Are they the same person? Sorry, no,
Yes.
no, they are. They are. Yeah, I remember.
yes. Barnacle's just it's like a role he plays. And then there's also the fact that it's kind of from his mug. It's very confusing.
She just holds up her hands. From what I
So,
remember,
anyways, you remember my
yes.
You
Sorry,
remember
go
my
ahead.
sister then?
You have a sister?
Yes. It's kind of the closest thing to my god. It's a really long story.
So you worship your sister?
No, not like that. There's no god I worship. That's the question you're asking. But you were saying something.
No, I not anymore. Sorry, my mind kind of drew a blank after you. I never met your sister or heard of her. I mean, frankly, Freya has no idea. She's been out of this loop this whole time.
I mean,
He kind of just looks around. He's kind of looking at this sushi pile he's made. Just thinking about, looks back at Freya. Okay. This is going to be a really wild story, so just bear with me here.
Oh, okay.
So Dan is going to start walking towards.
It's the worst possible time. All right.
He has a fishing pole
So-
and in one hand.
So what does he see when he sees the stupid amount of food on the ground? Okay. Oh, hey, Zidane.
Apsinthos, did you make this via magic using a particular spell that I think that you did?
Just making food?
He's gonna take a piece of quote unquote fish and then is it like actually sliced up or what is it? How did you envision it to look like?
I envisioned it like a really compact tray, so it's just a bunch of sliced up individual rolls of sushi. Like you could pick it up with like a finger. Easily.
Hmm.
Sashimi.
Sashimi. Basically, imagine the most bougie looking
Yeah.
sushi.
So I was wondering, Zidane's gonna quickly take a piece and then pop it in his mouth. And he's chewing quickly and then holds up the fishing pole. And Zidane is locking eyes with Apsinthos, knowing very well what he is tasting, because this is a spell that he has used before.
Mm-hmm.
He swallows. And would you like to try your hand at doing some fishing using a pole instead of this? Just as a humoring of a old friend, enjoying a peaceful moment by the riverside. And Freya, you're welcome to come along as well.
Uh, yeah, but Absinthos was about to tell me
Yeah.
about his sister.
Oh, your sister. Yes. Absinthos, why not tell the story about your sister with everyone else present? We can help fill in other details that you might have missed.
I think it'll be good. I think it may frighten Freya more than anything else.
I'm. It's more terrifying than a dragon.
Yes.
Well,
Or whatever, the Leviathan? Terrifying than that?
just
Have you
come,
met my mother?
please.
No, I have not met your mother.
Let's talk about it by the riverside then. Yes, it would be good to fish. I heard it's
Zidane
fun.
prefers the fishing pole to Absinthos. Now, this is Thamora's, so don't break it.
Why?
And apparently we need
Why
bait.
did you just get me a cheap one?
Well, it'll encourage you, perhaps, to treat it well. And it's also of highest quality, if it's from Thamor.
I
Although I
literally
think I
started
will.
off with some guy off of session like 2.
He's going to grab a couple of pieces of this quote-unquote sushi as bait. See what happens.
Thamor, Seafreeze,
We need to throw Absinthos in the drink.
Wait, what?
Does he say that out loud?
Get on the other side of him.
I already am.
What are you doing?
Let's go.
Oh, man.
You stink and you need a bath.
It's time
no.
for your bath.
So what's the water elevation situation here?
Sounds
I
good.
expect it's at least a few feet deep. And
Yeah,
then
'cause
there's
the
at least
fishtails
at least
swam.
twice as much of that is mud and silt.
Yeah, I don't think there's much he could do to resist it. So he's like, "What are you guys doing?"
We're giving you a bath.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that's necessary. But
Chuck him in, Thamor. Chuck him in. Yay!
Apsinthos is tumbled down the mud and lands with a splash in some pretty thick mud.
Freya definitely cringes.
Serves you right.
Thamor, he has your fishing pole.
I mean, I have that fishing pole from some guy who I took it from.
Some guy.
Wait, what?
I think that's true. I think we stole it.
We jumped on the boat. He hooked me. I pulled it. He let go of it. It's mine. It's been with me ever since.
That was a long time ago that you remembered that.
Well, in any case, Apsinthos, are you all right?
Can you swim?
Floats out of the water.
Do you
Cleans
guys
off his
normally do this
cloak.
to him?
Usually only verbally.
He looked dirty.
We're in the jungle.
You need to get
of course
better
we all look
eyeballs.
dirty.
Not as dirty as he did.
And
They're just
Anyways,
upset.
Well, maybe you could try fishing from up there.
That's actually.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Maybe it's a better fishing spot.
but what about the story of your sister?
I think he can multitask.
Exactly. So, anyways, my mom worships cereal.
Who?
Oh, you're starting with that.
Well, you have to have the proper backstory.
I
I'm
thought that
gonna
your mother
prompt,
liked to keep that particular thing. Well, I suppose if she's
Well,
already.
she's not here.
Nope. I have no idea who that is. Who's Ariel?
Yeah, it's. How do I explain it? Devil Queen of the Ninth Plane. Fights demons. Binds people's souls, something like that.
She is just slowly blinking at you.
Don't tell my mother that. She's well,
I don't know your mother. Again?
I'm sure you'll eventually meet her.
No.
Do I
Anyways.
want to meet her? She kind of looks over
No.
to Seymour.
No.
Ah,
Well, the last elf woman that he introduced to his mother.
do,
Yeah,
Was-
let's cut that thread for a moment.
oh,
So, anyways,
okay.
I had an older sister. My mother and my sister had an altercation. My mother basically sent my sister to the Nine Hells, and she was probably tormented there for 10, 11 years? Stuff like that. And then something happened, and these fine folks end up finding her as a beholder. Looks over towards Zidane. And then Yanti over here, I think, decided to made a pact with her or something.
Well, yeah. She was threatening to destroy reality, or at least the area that we had been trying to oust the power she had fused with. And my part of the deal was getting her to their mother and somehow solving that problem.
So, anyways, I was still, as family tradition is, bound to serve Zariel as a source of essentially devilish power. I was more of a fighter myself. And eventually, I had the better idea to what is it? Better idea to, let's just say, break the pact with Zariel, because I had a not so great interaction with her at a town once. I mean, the plus side, we got rid of that fog in that town. But on the downside, it certainly terrified the town folks when she sort of showed up. Once again, not a great moment.
She is looking very pale as she's trying to imagine all a devil lady and. And
Anyways, you had a question?
you chose your sister, who was a beholder, and
Well, now she looks normal. I mean, it's sort
Oh.
of a plane, like between the planes sort of void entity. Kind of like a god there. Something close to it. That's the source of the power I wield.
I see. That's a lot to unpack.
Get used to it.
No. How am I supposed to get used to that?
How do you get used to
Well-
that? Points to the sky.
Well, one of these is fixable, and the other, well, is floating in the air.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Dan.
You're welcome. I'm ever on your side.
She is just like holding her head, trying to, like, she's rubbing her temple, trying to figure things out. And she shakes it for a second before looking back up at you. Okay. So you deal with weird dark magic, that you take naps from. And
Dark is a questionable statement, if you ask me.
I don't know, I see dark tendrils whenever you, or shadows that lurk around you when you cast your magic. And in other ways,
Okay, got me there.
okay, very, very well. I'm sorry. I know I haven't spoken to most of you. And whatever universe, I'm trying to fix this. I'm trying to be whatever we are. It's just a lot to take in, and
What, Anderos never told you what our band is called?
I just know you guys fought some other dragon and were banded as heroes. But honestly, the times that I've traveled with them, it's pretty much we've been running and discussing a few things here and there, trying to help people, but at the same time, we were making our way to his kingdom. It's a little bit foggy, to be honest. It's
Well, when did you happen to join them, then? I know that Hildie's been with Anderos since I left him at Sunbreak. At least that was a year ago.
I
It was greener
I-
greens, right?
I met him briefly before that. It was just a glance, in a small port town, but I then pretty much followed where my goddess took me, and that's where I officially met all of you at Greener Greens. The
Greener Greens?
It
It sounds like a nice place.
no,
It's
not.
not.
It
Oh, is it one of those types where it sounds nice, but
it was disturbing. The people there were mutated.
Sedan starts to pull out his notebook.
Why are you taking notes?
Hmm?
He's a warden of justice or something like that.
Well, I'm taking notes to remember. Well, in the previous group that oh, how would I say? The previous group that was responsible for the dragon being well, the world breaking in that particular cycle of what I understand this all to be. One of them was my mentor, and another one in the group actually wrote everything down and ended up making stories, much like my alternate self did. Though the other in the previous group, made stories that were related to, well, one story related to their tale. So I figured both in this real world and that other false one, I would try and write things down, maybe make stories. Well, not stories, but it's something.
A
Anyways, please.
memoir?
No, nothing so dry and boring.
She shuts her mouth at that and looks away.
I was
We
thinking,
never did find the professional hater, did we?
no, and I have no idea who that could have. Regardless, no, I was thinking maybe songs, something to
Songs.
be, yeah, something to be sang in taverns or maybe on stages. You remember that song that Alton made?
Who?
We were under Dunmoric and at the sanctuary and just enjoying a nice
Oh
brief.
yeah.
Sorry, but I was never there.
And he makes an apologetic smile, nodding. I'm mostly talking to Apsinthos and Thamor about that because, well, the sea breeze was in a different place, and of course, you seem to have only joined recently on this journey I was not part of. But you remember the strange man who walked in and out of walls in the storybook?
Nope, because Freya wasn't there.
Oh, wait, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
So you still
So
wouldn't know who.
yep, she's looking at all of you confusedly. So
He was another original member of the party, the Cursebreakers. That's the name that was slapped onto us after we defeated Faust. Don't know if anyone else used it.
Yeah, it puts a projection of what Absinthos remembers of Alton.
It's
You don't
more.
remember him?
No. No, I'm sorry. That is not what's. Yeah, Alton. Pretty sure everyone would remember Alton that bumped shoulders with him. And in his heart of hearts, Alton is definitely still one of them. He just, well, had a different
Really?
vision. Yeah.
Okay.
well, all right.
No,
Right.
but the song he composed a song that was it was about what started us off on the meeting the dragon for the first time. I'm trying to remember exactly how it went, but well, it was a long time ago. But I figured instead of a book, the songs can be sang and everyone in the world could potentially know of the stories, so it won't be forgotten in some dusty old tome. But
Well,
I'm waxing poetic. Please, I'd like to
I
hear what happened.
with the party. The
Oh yes, when you joined.
well, I don't know if if you overheard everything that happened in the hut. I mean, I don't know the rest of the members briefed you or anything, but I know that we were making our way to Anderos's kingdom, and he was taken. We kind of entered under false identities because we were trying to, in a way, try to sneak in to meet his mother for some questions about Paylor and but it just became complicated along the way, and then we were told to by his sister to wander off into the wastelands, this desert. And that's where we found the temple with another dragon, and I stayed behind while I sent the others back to Anderos. And I was very worried that everyone was hoping they were safe, and I didn't hear anything. And dragon I was talking with, the son, I call him Sonny, but he has a sun shoot or something of that matter. I was keeping him company for a long time before I was dragged into the other universe, and then all of a sudden, here we are. It's yeah.
Was Greener Greens in Sunbreak? Or the White Order lands? Or
Mm, yeah, no, it wasn't near Indoros's home. It's been, even though I've almost been, almost, what does it feel like, a month, 2 months that I've traveled with all of you, and yet it feels like a long time. And even then, I don't even know most of it. But I'm also to blame at that. But, right. We're here to fish, not to sour the mood.
well, you seem friendly enough with the flying cat and Seabreeze to an extent. Otherwise, she wouldn't let you near.
Yeah, it's a funny story. Golden Bean has a language that he answers to. And I don't want to make Seabreeze upset if I do it, because it kind of bothers you too, Seabreeze.
Yes, well, he seems to have taken quite a liking to you. But, yes, please
Well,
only use the language of my people in an emergency.
yes. Uh, I guess I have been spoiling him. I don't really see animals of his nature very well, or
Yes, I don't think there are very many animals with his nature.
Yes,
well, I know
Even
there's
among
cats.
Tressum.
Well, yes. Is that
He
what it
is
is?
very needy.
Tressum?
Tressum, yes.
how do you spell that?
Do you have something to write with? I can write it out for you.
He's writing in a book right now.
He holds up his nope. His journey book. Here's yeah, his book and I think ink pens or
Well,
whatever counts for a pen.
right. And then we're so she kind of looks over to Absinthos. So our main goal is to find Thamor's kingdom? Friends? Is that why we've brought here?
Something like that. Eventually finding God, maybe? But in order to do that, we need to figure out what happened to Thamor's kingdom. He's kind of lost from time. So now we're lost in time.
And hopefully you won't end up like the these others.
Yeah, I'd rather not. No offense to the others. I don't know how long they've been here, but for the tattered clothes and I just don't want to find myself in a loop. But regardless,
So, yeah. And then we need to stop the lunatic. But
the
we need to
lunatic?
find these kind of just as a waves his hand gesture like, don't worry about it.
Luna, did you come up with that by yourself, or did Madeline?
You can't imagine that I had an original thought for once.
Apsinthos, I'm trying to act as, well, and then he slumps his shoulders a little bit. It's old habits, right? I haven't seen any of you for... If it does bother you, I'm
Madeline
sorry.
Madeline could care less about the whole thing. But I know it really ticks off Anderos, that whole situation.
Yes, seems like he's gone through a lot.
That'd be an understatement.
Yeah, you can definitely see Freya looking off to the side as kind of went off on him prior to all this traveling. Well, I hope the captain is doing all right. I don't know where we went off to. I shouldn't.
I'm sure he had his reason.
Yes, I understand. Well, not really, but I shouldn't have said some things to some people. But he does have a point about the gods and goddesses.
I think he's over there digging a hole for us so that we don't die tonight.
Oh, is that what he's doing?
Yes.
Right,
Yeah,
well,
it's Groombar, right?
who?
Is
He's got a couple gods in his head.
What? What
Um,
do you mean, couple of gods in his head?
just like our
Exactly
dear
what it sounds
Apsinthos
like.
here is able to talk with Madeline and power. Did you?
I understand that he was talking with Umberly and it used to be points towards the bloody moon or sun or whatever.
I think it's the Bloody Moon. Red or yeah.
I didn't know there was a third one.
He collects them like stamps.
Oh, don't collect. Never mind. I don't. If he wants to talk about it to me personally, then, or I confront him, then better coming from his own mouth.
I will say that it is supposed to put a great deal of strain on normal people.
I mean, I would imagine. I'm just fortunate enough that I'm able to talk to Ellie. You know her as maybe Eldith. Just any body of water I can able to summon her out of, but having them in you or in your mind, I can't fathom.
It would actually be a bit nice to talk with something or someone beyond yourself that helps to provide you with guidance. There's a wistful smile on Zidane's face.
Yeah, guidance. And she looks away.
That's perhaps one thing I am envious of. For the rest, I seem to be the only one of my kind. At least on this plane of reality.
Wait, hold on. I'm pretty sure I recall meeting your sister at one point.
Well, I was talking more about the life warden aspect of it.
Oh, that, yeah.
Sister. I wonder how she's dealing with all this right now.
I'm sure she's fine.
Uh,
Oh, that's right. She's cozying up to my mother. So
for some strange reason, everything passed when you decided to slip into that one. The sleep of mine, everything past that is a little bit hazy. Did you break something on the way out?
What?
He's talking to Apsinthos.
Ah.
quizzical look back. Break.
I don't know. You used some kind of magic, or I imagine, or reach the void.
On what, way back to reality A?
No,
That we're
when
in?
you told me that Anderos was an ocean away and was in danger.
Oh no, that's just something I can do. There's no breaking reality with that. I mean, reality broke not long after for different reasons. But that wasn't me, unfortunately.
The problem we currently have with vaguely gestures around and then points up at the sky.
Yes. Yes. I mean, it's okay. We got a god killer right here. Points up Amor.
Well, you did do a number on Faust.
Right. I was gonna do you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do tidal wave to see if I can summon the water up and then have it swim towards Freya and Seabreeze to see if I can catch fish.
Okay. Let me go back up here with the screen while you do this.
I'll have it be like this.
What are you doing there, Freya?
She's almost doing Katara's way, like water bending the waves, pushing it and pulling it before it starts surfing really high and then coming crashing towards us.
Oh, I remember Anderos doing this at the levee. Why is it going towards? Oh dear.
Are you actually trying to hurt yourself, or is this
No.
just a flavor thing? Then you don't
It's
need
just
to
a
make
flavor
save.
thing.
You get wet.
I get wet with some
Both of you are
hopefully
wet.
fish on the ground, maybe.
Roll me a d20 flat. It's a luck check. Higher you
Okay.
get fish, low you don't.
And
You get one
11.
fish.
Wow.
It's got a bite out of it.
Oh, this one's missing its head. That's odd. Have you seen a fish like this before? Maybe it's alive still? And she like picks it up.
Or maybe we woke up something that only comes out at night. Oh
Oh,
well, should be fine.
fantastic. Seabreeze, did you eat this fish? Seabreeze?
What?
She holds up the headless fish. Did you eat this one?
I have no idea.
don't think
I didn't take a bite out of a fish and throw it back into the river, if that's what you're asking me.
Careful. It might still have voices.
She just drops
Maybe
it.
one of us did. Maybe one of us did. She
well-
puts up her hand and points behind the palm. You know, he did it.
Wait, no, we could use it as bait.
Well, it's on the ground. Didn't you take it?
All right. Well, Apsinthos, do you want to?
It's floating on down. It's giving the fishing
he has
line
all
back
that-
to the.
I doubt Apsinthos wants to fish. He summoned all that food that's probably
Thank
being
you.
eaten.
I'm sure it's fine. That was really fun, though. Let's try that again sometime. I can see why the people like fishing at the dock all the time. Anywho, I need to finish up that tent and go to rest. So
Well,
I'll see you all tomorrow morning.
Enjoy
Are
your
you
nap.
not staying in the hidey-hole?
He's
No,
gone.
I got some heebie-jeebies about it.
Yep. What?
Hey, don't worry about it.
Did he pick that up in Sunbreak? What is... Never heard that before.
What?
Is that a human thing?
Do I look human to you?
No. He looks over to Thamor. I think Thamor's human.
No.
You haven't seen him without his helmet, have you?
No, he claims himself a god sometimes, which I doubt, but he has impressive fighting
Sometimes.
skills. No, hey, you may have impressive fighting skills, but you're no god.
Hmm.
I do not like
He's
this
gonna
Freya.
roll. He's gonna roll. Oh.
Key, do you have a new character sheet ready?
Oh no. I mean, I always do, but I also wanted to apologize to you. Is it Dan, was it?
Yes. I do
sorry.
also respond to Zucchini or Zooks, though.
I am good with Sedan. I wanted to apologize for a couple things. One for the slap earlier.
Mhm. It was unexpected, yes, but we've been
I
having
don't-
an issue with since Malaise hut. The I don't explode anymore from in fire under sunlight. That's nice, but I think there's a
Yeah.
side effect of not being a plant anymore.
Yeah, I remember in the other universe that you were explaining that why you were a plant, but were you always a plant?
No, there was a. It's a funny thing. Do you remember Apsinthos talking about a village and fog and mist?
No.
Well, he did go over that detail rather quickly. One of the things that he did was entreated Zariel, the bad not goddess, and he on accident and nearly cooked himself alive. I took that blow for him, and well, there was a very big undead werewolf also attacking that village, and it bit me.
Bit you?
Yes, and in order to get rid of it, we actually met Malaise, and she cured it. But then I turned into green.
Ah. Interesting. Her magic is a peculiar one when we were in the hut. But, and you said it was. Was it also her power in your makeshift home?
Oh no, that's part of this, the wardens, and he takes the twin key focus and then shows her. It's uh, the ornate key and the jail cell key wrapped together around, and there's a nice little flower sprouting from it that is metallic. It's it's part of the power that I've been entrusted with. The wardens of the plane of life. But there's only one right now.
One. You. I'm guessing it's you.
As far as I know, unless, well, I was hoping Elise might know if they were trapped here as well, in this time-lost place, but she had only ever met my mentor, and he's, passed on, in a sense.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Well, he's alive, but not. He didn't die, as far as I know. He just is now on the plane of life with other wardens.
You
But
just see a very far off look.
I, it, the strangeness of the situation has not lost on me.
Yeah, all right. Right.
But the house is rather nice and friendly after its own fashion.
Well, from what I recall, it seemed that way in the beginning, and it did interesting things, summoning whatever we needed. That was useful. Um, right. The other thing I was going to apologize for was ridiculing you. Well, in that old universe with Hildie.
Ridicule. Oh, the campfire.
Yeah.
Yes, It looks down. Head tilts to one side, tilts to the other. Yes,
I
I do suppose that wasn't the greatest of feelings to experience, but
normally I'm not that way, and I'm trying to embrace both sides. It already happened, but it's a lot to unpack. And anyways, I noticed that you were having difficulty earlier with your magic. You mentioned, yes.
a little bit. But I know that for myself, that alternate was something I completely and utterly reject. Though you seem to have qualities of both after we found out about everything. Is enough to, well, perhaps I shouldn't pry. I apologize.
Well, in a way, it did give me a new um outlook on life. Not everything has to be taking on from the shadows or being quiet, and in a way it was nice to be bold. I was always sheltered when I was grown up. Or, well, I wasn't very welcomed when I was in my village. Treated poorly and, well, I guess, in a way, my alternate self probably brought out all that frustration I had over the years I bared. But, I'm not sure how I'm going to confront Hildie. Kinda. Sure, especially what I said in the hut.
Yes, I am well aware I was behind you. Uh,
Yeah, I. I'm just confused. I barely talked with the others, and whatever original timeline that we were in, I. She seemed nice, helpful towards everyone. And she still is. Spunky.
hmm.
Sorry, I probably shouldn't really be telling all of this to you.
Well, in any case, I do appreciate the honesty, though if I might provide some advice, don't put off trying to at least talk to make sure what you said was what you meant, or you meant what you said. This times like these, well, I had
It's
a chance to try and clear something up. Maybe. No, maybe I didn't, but you should, when you're ready, address whatever happened in there. It doesn't do well to be unsure of where you stand with someone that also has your back. Regardless of whether or not you keep what you had or were starting to have in that other place, don't squander the time that you do have to try and make things right. It's a wound that doesn't heal.
She considers your words and looks at the ground, kind of kicks a pebble towards the river. It's funny. You're the one giving me guidance when my goal is supposed to give you all guidance. Well, that's what my goddess told me. Hard to do that. Silly thing to follow, especially when you don't really know party. But take your words into consideration. Well, with the best of my ability, anyways. I just hope she doesn't. No, she most likely will slap me in the face.
Well, if you need someone that could take the slap to the face, or perhaps prevent you
I'm
from taking a
no.
bomb to the face, I'm
I'd
more than
rather.
willing.
I'd rather not have someone take that. It. How would I say this? I don't want to impose anyone on my personal affairs. I mean, especially taking the brunt of posable partner, friend.
I understand. Though, if you do need someone to mediate, I appear to be the odd person out. Most of my friends are the same, so I think the ones closest to both you and Hildy are dealing with their own shit, as it were.
She cocks a brow. Like, is it love interest or their own, like, whatever? Apsinthos just proclaimed that he worships his sister and
He phrased
has.
it like that.
It sounds that way.
I mean, I suppose he does look up to her, but not. Anyways, no, it's Hildy and Anderos seem extremely close. Not in a
No, he,
confidant, not a.
yes, I never saw him that way. When we were traveling together, they threw jabs at each other, but they always seemed more like they were great pals, understanding. And I guess in a way, I'm just trying to find that bond myself with the rest of you, and I'm sorry again for. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I would like to start anew, to get to know you. Not, me yelling at you, calling you worthless and a coward and yellow liver and
He
making
nods
you
with
do
each of
things.
the. He's nodding with each of the things that you have called him, and then a slight smile. I've handled worse. It's all right. And as I said before, I reject anything and everything that other Zidane was and stood for. Although, if the success of his books was to be uh, a portent of future, maybe I don't have much luck in store for me if I tried.
uh, Maybe you should just stick to what you were doing now. Songs. You did say that books normally get lost and forgotten, so. I mean, I haven't really picked up my book or a book, to be honest. And she kind of thinks back. No, I don't think I've ever really read anything.
And Zidane nods and stretches and looks over at the river. Yeah, it didn't last too long, but everyone had at least one little laugh, even if most of them were at Apsinthos's expense. That's pretty usual. But there's something to be said about the usual. No?
I suppose. I guess we're in a very unusual state at this current time. Being the. Which she kind of points at the sky.
Yes. Someone mentioned that you're a healer. Yes?
Yeah, well, yes.
I
Do
don't
you
know if there's
need...
any familiar things in this place, but if you need someone to, well, test if something is poisonous, I could do so safely.
She raises a brow at that. Okay, I'm not gonna feed you poison. That's not
Okay, I'm
what
back.
I do.
Oh no, but some things might be beneficial if they are no longer poison. That's usually how healing things work, right?
I suppose. I mean,
At least that's what a friend
sure.
taught me.
A strange friend, but sure.
No, not really.
Well,
At the end of the day, she was a good friend, though.
hmm. She kind of goes silent at that. But she looks back over to the river. Okay. Uh, more or less, I will have Freya kind of linger by the river a little bit, and eventually she'll start. Oh, what am I doing? What am I making a Okay, I don't know why that formed, but she'll eventually make her way around and keeping Zidane's words in mind, she starts looking for Hildy, knowing that if she continues to wait, it would just continue eating inside of her. So she'll start looking around, see if she spots ya. But I'm sure it'll probably take her like a good 10 minutes to eventually find where this hidey hole. And she comes around the corner. I assume I spot ya. So
Mm. I think that she would look up, see Freya, and just completely expressionless, just look back down at the trinket that she was working on.
and Freya will definitely chew the inside of her cheek, and but she'll kick herself to move forward and come around, glance down at the hidey hole, and before kind of standing in front of you. Hey, I know you don't want to be, or I know I'm not the face you want to see right now, but I was wondering if I can talk to you.
If you're looking for drugs, I'm afraid I've tossed those.
And you can definitely see she tenses up at that, and but sighs. I'm sorry for what I said to you, what I barked at. I I know it happened, but I shouldn't have said that, but it did. I was confused. I frustrated, and I was really worked up, and I shouldn't have lashed out. I know a sorry is not good enough, and it's just I'm I don't regret the time that we had. I, I know it from the two places that we known each other from the original timeline and the alternate, and I didn't get to talk with you as before, and what I'm trying to say is that, God, I don't even know what to say. I never really felt this way to anyone before. And I don't know what you want to make of us, and I don't want it to be based off of drugs or... I want to get to know you, but I don't want to... I don't want to ruin it. I, she kind of stumbles.
You know, I understand that you just had your world rocked. So did I. So did everybody else here. I understand popping off when you're emotionally overwhelmed. Gods know I've done that more than once in front of you, several times, if I remember correctly.
She nods.
But boy, did you hammer in on the one insecurity. I toss the drugs, and then that comes out of your mouth. You know,
I don't know. I don't know why you were ever taking the drugs. I just thought it was a fun time thing. I really didn't know it was an insecurity.
Yeah, well,
I
that's partly my fault too.
And it's
Yeah.
also mine for not getting to know you, and
Look, before all of this, I was actually going to apologize to you because, frankly, there were conversations that we probably should have had before we... I'm not saying I regret it. I'm just saying that with the benefit of an entire lifetime's worth of hindsight, I am a fucking mess. And it wasn't fair to you to jump into bed with you knowing that I had all that baggage. Yeah, what you said was really shitty. But I did something pretty shitty. So seeing as we're both on the same shitty level playing fields, guess that pretty much calls us even, as far as I'm concerned. But I have to be really honest with you. I don't have the capacity for anything serious right now. I know everyone always says it's not you, it's me, but it truly is a me thing. It has nothing to do with you. You're great. And I enjoyed the time that we had together, but I can't... I can't handle it right now. I'm sorry.
don't be. I know it's as with the current circumstances and everything that we're all going through. It seems... I know it seems silly to draw on something as love and feelings, and especially with what we're about to face. I understand, but if you ever want to talk about anything, I'm willing to listen. doesn't have to be, as it was. As just as like a friend. Not as a healer, not as a stranger, but really as a friend.
You see her kind of not a full-on smile, but just a light little smile. Yeah, that might be nice.
Yeah, it would be. Um, and she kind of awkwardly rubs her arm and looks over to the hole. Ooh, I suppose we're staying down there, huh?
I feel that in the spirit of full disclosure, your sleeping role may have made it down there kind of unceremoniously.
Frankly, I barely use it. I mostly sleep on the ground and near water anyway.
Hmm.
If it makes you feel better, you can always keep punching it. I mean, if you want to punch me, I deserve it.
No, I'm not going to punch you.
Would it be alright if I, ask you what you're tinkering over?
Oh, well, I the thought of something out there making us go mad kind of doesn't sit very well with me. So I'm trying to come up with something that would, I don't know, maybe to help shock somebody out of it. I don't know. It's just a prototype right now.
Well, shocking does wake up the brain, I suppose, but, depends on how intense it might be.
Well, it's an idea. Without knowing any specifics about what we're about to face, I'm kind of flying blind, but I
Yeah,
don't know. I
you
prefer
and I, sorry.
no, it's just that I prefer that a shot in the dark is better than none at all. And if it ends up not working, then that's data that I can expound on.
That makes sense to me. I mean, at least you're going in through it logically.
If
I'm
I
naive.
don't go through it logically, then I'll start spiraling, and I already have the odds stacked against me in that regard. So I'm focusing now while I still have the brain power to.
Well, I probably let you get back to it then.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
glad we talked.
I'm glad we did too. Funny enough, Sedan was the one who told me to talk with. Not me, giving me advice, and
We really
I
acted
want
like
to. I
assholes. We really acted like shitheads, didn't we?
a little bit, yes. And it You know what's funny though? It was kind of fun at the same time. I know I shouldn't be thinking of that like that, but
I
I'll
suppose it
try.
was in the moment, but
And in the moment, but well, yeah. Right. She kind of awkwardly takes one of her braids and nervously tucks it over her shoulder and right. I'll just go and th- have a nice night.
see you later.
See ya. And she will make her way into the hidey-hole for now.
But she'll give a wide berth when she sees Anderos in the dark and
Just goes over to her bedroll and just sits there for the remainder of the night and to meditate.